Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to have a very exciting topic. As always, hope every one of you received a lot of value from our presentation. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment to this presentation because it's a very intriguing, very interesting. We can take a very deep dive on what is the best real estate investment class. Long-term renting, which is LTR, MTR, which is medium-term rental, or STR, aka Airbnb, which is so which one's better? At the end, Julie and I will provide our own opinion, which one we think is the best investment asset class in terms of short-term profits or long-term wealth building gains. It's very interesting. Again, everything is a lot of it is based on our experience and our knowledge and our the journey that we've gone through. I've been doing this investment for more than 20 years. So I've been through a lot of different cycles, a lot of different asset classes, and a lot of markets that I have invested in over the years. And Julie, although Julie is starting out, but the start out she did 3 years ago, she bought a total of 6 rental property in her portfolio in the Midwest. So Julie really ramped up. She have a late start, but I tell you what, the portfolio she have accumulated, she bought it under her own name, under her own financing. She and her husband, of course, and also the IRA. Anyway, Julie has been doing a lot of co-hosting with me on my videos. So thank you so much, Julie. How are you?
Thank you. Fine, Stephen. How are you this morning?
Fine, thank you. So, yep. So anyway, let's get started. Very interesting topic. All right. So, yeah, here we go. Which is the best investment model? LTR, long-term rental, MTR, mid-term rental, or STR, short-term rental, Airbnb type of strategies. All right, so let's take a very deep dive. You guys are gonna love it. All right, pros and cons, right? Pros and cons with LTR. Here it is. Here are the pros. It is unfurnished, and the tenants will bring all their items, washer, dryer, refrigerator, everything. Okay, it's almost 100% passive. It's just like if you do it right, if you find the right turnkey provider, if you buy in the right market, if you find the great property manager,
Right.
even though you're buying under your name, 100% your name, no need to partner with anyone, no need to do certification, no need to partnership, anything. All 100% yours is a physical asset, single family home to fourplex, almost 100%. If you buy it in a turnkey, and then by doing LTR long term, over time you can scale your portfolio with very minimal efforts. And we'll elaborate on this toward the end of this presentation. So something Julie and I have done over the years, and hundreds of our risk investors over the years have purchased long-term LTR investments, and they scale very nicely over years. They purchase 10, 15, 20 rentals under their own name and in a turnkey manner and managed by professional managers. And you will be shocked in the way we have done it, whether we have 10 rentals, 20 rentals, or 30 rentals spread across many locations. The total number of hours you need to manage those portfolio is per month. What is it, Julie, per month?
1 hour per month,
That's
not
not
per week or not per day. 1 month, once a month. Yeah.
most people, Julie, work slave away 40 to 60 hours per week, and they do not own any properties. They do not own any rentals. They are
Right.
slaving away for the rest of their life, which is very sad. Am I right, Julie?
No, yeah, it really is. It really is. The way the turnkey works, it's ideal. It's almost like you said, it's almost 100% passive. I would agree with that. I would say 99% passive.
Hey, 99%. That's exactly. Julie, we are not BSing anyone. BS.
No, that's true. It's very true.
This is no bull. I don't want to be
Mhm.
too derogatory because we are Christians.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, okay, let's go on. Let's digress. Stability, LTR, stability and demand to consistently obtain highly qualified annual leased tenants often these tenants stay 2 to 3 years or more because, as you guys have not heard, the housing affordability in today is the worst in the history of mankind, meaning there are more renters than any other time in the U.S. history dating back to 1776.
Wow. Wow.
And so therefore, if you buy a rented property in a great location, that cash flow, that have a turnkey situation, that have a great property manager, that you could have renters lining up to try to rent your great income rental property. Am I right or wrong, Julie?
No, that's very true. We just recently had one that was vacated, and he hadn't been there very long, so it took very little time for them to get it back and get it ready on the market. And I believe the first open house they had, they found the right tenant. So it's definitely a lot of available tenants, good quality tenants out there, not just anybody.
Yep. Long distance, remote investors like we are, we can invest, buy a property 3,000 miles away and let the property manager do everything.
All the work, all the heavy lifting.
Right. They will screen the tenant. They will qualify the tenant. They will put the tenant into a house. We do nothing as remote landlord, and all we do is collect checks during when we sleep.
Right. Exactly. I love that. I love that.
Furthermore, over time, because of inflation, you're going to increase your rent over time.
Yes.
Long-term rental normally is low tenant turnover. I know. Yeah. It all depends on what market, what neighborhood, whatever. But anyway, we'll talk more about that. Low tenant turnover, low maintenance, low vacancies. And all you got to do is pay the property management 5% per month of your rental collection, and let them do it for you. Another pros for long-term rental is that the cost of purchase a single-family home or duplex or single-family home anywhere from $50,000 to $300,000. You can cash flow with 25% down payment.
Absolutely.
Of course, I recommend the maximum of 1 to 4 units. Okay, because they still qualify for residential financing under Fannie Mae lending guideline. 1 to 4 units. Anything beyond 4 units is commercial loan. I don't particularly like that. I'm sure you'll agree.
And I just wanted to tag back on the low turnover, and I can actually attest to that because we've had our properties now for not quite 3 years on all of them, but we've only had, out of the 6, we've only had 2 tenants leave, and then we were able to get tenants within both properties within less than a month. And then the other ones that are there, the other 4 that are there, they pay very consistently. They're on time. We never have any problems. They don't have a whole lot of maintenance issues going on. When they're long term, they really do take care of the property like it's their own. So that's another advantage of the long term.
Yeah, very good to know, because not only, even though you're buying in a kind of a Midwest kind of market, your properties are very old, but they've been rehabbed, looking very nice. It's a blue collar market, like a C or C plus class neighborhood, and yet you're still doing very well. I mean, with the vacancies and maintenance issues.
Absolutely.
But you have about 3 years of track record on your 6 properties. But only time will tell. But so far, so good, right?
We're not complaining.
Absolutely,
it's been great.
Right. Okay. Let's continue. All right. Okay. And then the cons of a LTR is initially is a low cash flow, at least in the first 2 years, compared to the midterm rental and the short rental. But again, you're buying long term. Like I said, initially your cash flow going to be a couple $100 cash flow, monthly. Only don't be all about cash flow. But if you wait a few more years down the road, your cash flow will increase. That is how it goes. So final analysis, I'm sure you agree, is low risk.
Very low risk. Absolutely. You can't say no risk, but it is very low risk.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, okay. The next asset category that a lot of people are beginning to hear about it. So I know there's a lot of excitement in this particular asset class, but I want to temper your excitement. Don't get overhyped just because other YouTubers, there are some midterm rental so-called expert out there, those gurus out there, they always want to overhype this new emerging asset class. But those YouTube gurus out there, they are selling a coaching program.
Right.
They will charge you 5, 15 grand to do the MTR coaching. Of
Right.
course, they can overhype the program. But you and I, Julie, we are being very objective. So we can
Yes,
like it
absolutely.
is. We're going to be very realistic. We can tell you the pros and cons. Although I don't own any short-term rental or mid-term rental, neither do you. We
Right.
know a lot of people there do own this kind of asset classes, and I get the feedback of it. And because I've been doing it for a long time, I've been a long-term investor for so long. We have the background to talk about the pros and cons of it. Anyway, with that said, let's continue. So MTR, mid-term rental, the pros, potentially you can get 50% or higher rents than long-term rental. All right, that's the pros. Now, again, don't fall under the excitement. Oh, this is a
Right.
you know how it is. People, so much hype, which is unfounded too often. All right, mid-term rental. Okay, cons. Okay, I can only see one purpose. Yeah, when an asset class at the beginning stage, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of unknown, right? But there's a lot of risk because we just don't know. We have to wait until this asset class emerges. It takes a longer time to look at the track record, right? And the cons of buying a property for a mid-term rental is the initial cost of furnishing.
Right.
Above and beyond buying the property itself to do the
Right.
Airbnb, you have to furnish your interior. The average furnishing cost is around $15,000 to $30,000 cash out of pocket.
That's a lot.
It's furnishing. That's right.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. How are you going to recoup this initial money? Right?
Right.
That's a question you have to ask yourself. So
Mhm.
do your research, do your due diligence. Because why cost of furnishing? Because investor pays for all the utilities, internet,
Right.
tables, and sofa and chairs and everything else. And because of the wear and tear, there's a lot of wear
Right.
and tear, right? When you have several tenants, much more wear and tear than a long-term rental annual lease. So mid-term rental people typically stay 30 to 90 plus days, right? And you're gonna get average of 5 to 8 tenants annually. Yeah, for mid-term
It's a
rental.
lot of people.
Yeah, so yeah. And in between tenants, if you don't know how to market correctly, in between tenants,
Right.
population, their vacancy could be up to 20% on an annual basis.
Wow. Wow.
Furthermore, other cons about it is medium-term rental. By the way, people talk about renting to travel nurses, healthcare professionals, digital nomads, relocation, families, people house got burned down and they have a place to stay temporarily
Sure.
and for a few months, and the mid-term rental is the ideal scenario. But it's not that simple to target traveling nurses or healthcare professionals or relocation,
Right.
because the rental pool, it is so minuscule.
Right.
It's very hard to find those type of tenant pool, as mentioned, right? Am I right, Julie?
No, I agree with you. I think looking at the pros and the cons, I think a lot of time people only look at the pro. 50% higher, that's a lot if you look at it. But it's like you're getting a higher reward, but then there's also a higher risk attached to it as well.
Yeah.
If you have that many people, even 5 times a year, even 4 times a year, people coming in and out of your place, they're not going to take care of it as well as they would if they're planning to stay. So that is a risk as well, that you having to buy the furniture and then they move out. You may have to buy more furniture because they've not taken good care of your existing furniture.
Right. Yeah. And furthermore, for MTR, mental, it's difficult to scale the portfolio because what if you're very successful on your one MTR rental, right? You're making a lot of rents and a lot of higher cash flow, whatever. But very hard to scale, very hard to, what I mean by scale, very hard to buy your second MTR, your third MTR,
Mhm.
especially if you live in a high cost market like where I live in San Francisco,
Right.
yeah, and where you live in Southern
Mhm.
California, we have to buy out of state mostly. How
Right.
can you scale? How can you buy more than one MTR? Scale your
Right.
portfolio. On a
Mhm.
in a long-term rental, you can scale exponentially because you're almost doing it passively, right? And you can scale
Right.
to buy over time, you can buy 10, 15, 20, 30 long-term
Right.
rentals and still work 1 hour per month.
That's true.
So if you buy
Mhm.
MTR, you have to, okay, let's continue. In MTR, you're gonna have to do some work. Okay.
Yes.
You,
Yes.
you can't be a lazy landlord. You want to get into the MTR space. And worse,
Mhm.
with the STR, Sortimento, we
Right.
can talk about momentarily, is even worse, but we'll get to that. All right.
Mhm.
Hey,
Mhm.
okay. Continue with the mental cons. If you, a lot of people, they self manage.
Ooh,
You know,
scary.
Julie, a lot of real estate gurus out there, they they preach people self managing their income properties, even long distance, even remotely. They,
Mhm.
to me, that is outrageous. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Mhm.
That is absolutely a. I would never self manage my property. Whether I buy
Mhm.
one rental or 10 rental, I would have focused on my time to enjoy travel. Okay,
Right. Exactly.
enjoy
Exactly.
my financial freedom lifestyle. You know, when you self manage, you spend time to do all this. You're trading time for dollars.
Mhm.
I rather pay you and I rather pay $15 minimum wage to,
Right.
to let others do the labor intensive work.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Then look, I get paid. Look, because I'm a real estate consultant, I get paid
Right.
around let's say around $500 per hour. I want to run my business at a $500 per hour. I'm not going to
Right.
self-manage. I'm not going to go into my property and
Exactly.
fix the toilet and change the doorknob. Why should I pay
Exactly.
myself $20 to do that when I pay
Right.
somebody else $20 a minimum wage to do all the
Right.
for me, and I could continue to make my money doing consulting, getting paid $500 per hour, and then have plenty of
Right.
time to for me to travel all over the world for the past 30 years, which I have.
Mhm.
I've been to a lot of expensive cruises.
Nice.
I've been to 50 countries, and a lot of these 50 countries we've been there more than once.
Mm.
Do you know how much it costs?
Nice.
Do you know how much it costs to cruise 1 or 2 weeks on a decent cruise?
Oh, I do. It's very expensive.
$10,000 to $20,000
Yeah.
total
Mhm.
cost of cruising on a decent cruise ship. Now, I'm not talking
Mhm.
about the Carnivals of the world.
Right. Right.
I'm
Right.
not talking about the Walmart of the seas. Okay,
Yes.
I
Yes.
I graduated beyond the Walmart of the seas. Carnivals, no.
Yeah. No, they're very expensive. Even just flying somewhere, if you're going out of the country, a lot of times the flight can cost more than the actual stay than your actual stay. So yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So if an MTR owner, they could use a property management, but the property management could be up to 20% of the
Right.
management fee, and that can eat
Right.
your cash flow, right?
Yeah, that's a very good point. I was noticing that because I think what you said on the long term, property management can run anywhere from 5 to 8%, maybe even as high as 10%. But
Yeah.
now you're doubling your property management cost, so that is eating into that 50%. So it's something I think when you're looking at doing a midterm or even a short term, which I know you're going to talk about that next, you just really have to look at all the moving parts because it's not really as easy as people want to make it look. Not that it's not a viable investment opportunity, but you just really have to know all the details before you jump into something like that.
Okay. Julie, first, good point. To your point, first and foremost, each individual, each investor, they have to look at themselves. What is
Mhm.
their skill set? What are they
Right.
capable of doing? Are they, or
Mhm.
you have to ask yourself before you do LTR, MTR, SCR, what is your personality? Or are
Right.
you a introvert or extrovert, or you are, is English even your first language?
Mm.
Maybe even
Yep.
not. 'Cause a lot of my California investors, they are engineers and high-tech workers. English is not even their first language.
Mm.
So I'm
Mhm.
not saying that's a bad thing, but they are doing long-term rental because they are high-tech Silicon Valley engineers. They
Right.
happen to migrate into the US and they have this killer jobs
Right.
working for Google and Apple and
Absolutely. Yes.
they're making a huge amount of money and that's the crust of my database, right? So they're not number one, they're working full time.
Yes.
There's no way they can self-manage anything, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah, they buy out of state from California. They buy long distance. They buy remote. They buy long-term rent because they want to delegate all the labor into for a turnkey approach using a project
That's
manager.
it.
They're not going to waste their time to self-manage. That's crazy.
That is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's a lot of work. That's a
I,
lot of
I,
work.
I call that brain damage. I'm not going to brain freaking damage. Why so many mainstream TikTok social media, the so-called visit guru, promoting self-managing your home, never pay 5 to 8%
Right.
for property management because they go eat into your freaking cash flow. Are you out of your freaking mind?
Yeah. That's like I said, you got to look at all the moving parts before you make a decision to go into that. Like I
Exactly.
said, higher reward, but higher risk as well.
That's right. You have to know your personality. Again, if you're real an extrovert, if you're very sociable, if you love to talking to people, managing people, by all means, do MTR, do Airbnb, STR, and do all that. If you want to spend the time, I don't know. Let's continue. So MTR, the cons, clearly they're not passive. More time and effort are needed, which we discussed. You need to self-manage, even long distance. Yes, people can do it.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot, not a lot. I know people that have a medium to rental, 2,000 miles away from where they live, and they're self-managing. They're doing everything. They're preschool tenant. They are doing everything except the housekeeping. They leverage all the housekeepers, the housekeeper at the local area in all the work and everything else. But okay, furthermore, the cons of MTR is you just can't advertise in Metro. The most popular website you can advertise is furnishfinder.com. Advertise your MTR tenants through Airbnb or through Zillow, through Verbal, whatever. But these are passive types of marketing or promoting your MTR units. But in order to be successful, see, they don't tell you that. The MTR so-called rules out there, they're producing these investment opportunities through TikTok, through mainstream channels in YouTube. They don't tell you that the best way to achieve success with MTR is you, as an owner, personally, or maybe you could hire a virtual assistant. I don't know. Personally, have to contact staffing agencies, insurance agencies, relocation companies, HR department of hospitals directly yourself. Not only that, you have to oftentimes you have to call. You have to cold call on a daily or weekly basis all these agencies directly in order to achieve a good success rate of getting the medium-term tenants.
Yeah, like you said, you have to know yourself because that's a lot. And I've been in businesses where I've had to cold call. That's like the worst thing in the world. I'm sympathetic with the people that cold call my house because I know what that's like. Oh yeah, that's a lot of work.
In my previous career, I've done a little bit of cold calling. Oh, that is such.
That's the worst.
That is the worst. I don't recommend that to anyone unless you're really blessed. That is, I don't wish that on anyone. That is so much work. There's more. Wait, there's more MTR cons out there.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, there's more. It's an infomercial
There you go.
to not to buy MTR. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I have to be objective. Okay? There's a future in emerging MTR. There's a future to this, but right now there's a lot of issues have to be resolved to make this MTR a mainstream asset class. All right, we are nowhere near there. We're at the very beginning stage of this emerging real estate asset class. Okay. Furthermore, MTR, you have to buy a property near hospitals, okay, which can prove problematic. We have to do a lot of time, a lot of research to buy the right property in the right location to healthcare medical clinics. And a lot of people don't know, a lot of people do not know that to buy a income property close to hospital that will get you the rent in a good market in MT or to MTR, the cost of purchase could be a lot higher than a regular long-term rental.
Mm. Oh, because of the location.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
because you and I know, to buy a long-term rental, you could buy a property, as we mentioned earlier on our presentation, as low as $50,000 in Buffalo Niagara Falls.
Absolutely. I have one.
You have one, and
I do.
you finance it with 20% down payment.
Right.
I mean, your total out of pocket is like 13 grand.
Yeah, and the payment is less than my cell phone bill.
Exactly. And you cash flow like a couple of $100, which is nice.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of flexibility with long-term rental in terms of price range you can buy in different part of the country.
Mm-hmm.
But MTR, you can't do that. MTR, your property could be $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 on the average or
Right.
more, right? I know every market's different, every location is different. You and I know that, right?
Sure.
Anyway, so the final analysis on an MTR space, I call it moderate risk. You agree or do you not agree?
Oh, I totally agree with you. Like I said, there is an opportunity there, but the higher the reward, the higher the risk.
Exactly. All right. The last asset class says something again. Short STR stands for short-term rental, also known as Airbnb, verbal, whatever. Okay, 30 days or less stay. Now, okay, look, this is a sexy investment, right? Everybody talk about it. He's so
Everybody talks about Airbnb. Yes.
Yeah, I own the short-term rental. Oh yeah, I'm collecting all kinds of rents. I'm doing very well. I'm making 10 times 10x my income opposed to other investment properties. So we all heard the overhyped things, and people, especially during the pandemic, when people can't do anything, people do a lot of Airbnbs, right? And during the pandemic, like 3 years ago, there's a lot of money to be made with the Airbnb short-term rental, right? Because people are, but now these are post-pandemic, the people that enter the short-term rental space, a lot of it, a few years ago, they have no clue what they're doing.
Right.
And now, well, there is some significant corruption going on in the Airbnb bust.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Look, okay, I'm not overhyping. Airbnb bust is really, again, is an overhyped concept for purpose of negative headlines out there. But short-term rental are no different than mid-term rental, no different than long-term rental. The U.S. market is huge. There are 2,000 counties. There are 10,000 cities. It all depends on what location you own those properties. And it all depends on a lot of variables, right?
Right.
You can't pigeonhole locations. Every location is different. Every neighborhood is very different. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
Doesn't matter LTR, NTR, or STR, right? But having said that, let's go over the pros with STR, short-term rental. Rental income can be significantly higher MTRs and LTR. Okay.
That makes sense.
That's true. For the most part. Furthermore, one can qualify for the STR tax loophole, which can significantly reduce your taxes. We could talk about that, you and I, in future episodes. I already have a PowerPoint presentation to talk about short-term rental tax loophole.
Oh, okay.
So next week, let's talk about that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yep. Very interesting. Okay. Further cons of STR. Purchase price can be significantly higher than NTR on LTR. What does that mean? Again, it's based on location, but sometimes in order to have a successful STR, your purchase price could be what? $500,000, $1 million, $1.5 million.
Exactly. Yeah.
How many people have the kind of money, 25% down payment, just to buy one STR? People don't think about that. It depends on one location. If you in Southern California, there's some STR in what? In Big Bear or in well, what's
even in where we are in Pasadena, because we have a lot of events that go on. We have the Rose Bowl. Everybody knows the Rose Bowl.
Right.
And they have ongoing events all through the summer. To have a property that is strategically located to that, you could rent it out pretty much around year round. But the Rose Bowl is also in a very high price neighborhood too. So you're you're talking $1.5 million or more, really, about probably $1.5 million, and then you're not going to cash flow.
You know what? In Southern California, a lot of those short-term rentals owners are people who already owned their house for 20 or 30 years ago.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Long time ago, and they their mortgage is probably already paid for. And
Yes.
And some of those owners that have tremendous equity of their multi-million-dollar home, they can convert to a short-term rental.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Or mid-term rental. But those people, they're okay. But if you're brand new into the STR model, and you buy brand new property to do the STR, you buy in Southern California or Northern California, they're costing $1 million, $2 million.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll be years trying to cash flow that.
If you have an STR rental, monthly rent, $10,000, that still may not even pay your STR mortgage and taxes, insurance, agencies, and all that, right?
That's true. Very true.
STR can be a full-time job, especially if you're self-managing your short-term rent. Furthermore, you have to ask yourself one big question. Do you want to get into the hotel business?
That's very true. Because when you put that hospitality, that's the first thing I thought. It's like you're renting a hotel. Just like a hotel, or rent out for a weekend, or rent out for a week or 2 weeks or whatever. It's the same concept. It's the same concept without the room service.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, but let's break it down. It is a hospitality business, right? A lot of people entering, especially during the onset of the pandemic. Oh, it's a gold mine to do the short-term rental, because everybody's renting vacation rental during the lockdown of the pandemic.
Right.
But a lot of those people, they are clueless. They are not to run an STR short-term rental. You have to have the mindset of a business owner.
Absolutely.
You have to be good in communication and relationships. You have to be an extrovert. You have to know relationship building. Big owner. You have to run the freaking hotel. Do you have the expertise, the mindset, or this kind of special skill to do this? A lot of STR business found out the hard way. They do not have the skill set to do the short-term rental long term, and they quit. They quit because they have to sell their short-term rental because they found out it's not as easy as they thought.
Right.
They go bankrupt. They sold the house at the wrong time. They don't want to become an STR owner anymore. I've heard all kind of horror stories of people,
I'm sure,
of STR owners got into this space for the wrong reasons. It's not their expertise, and they crash and burn.
I believe it. Yeah. And you've heard, especially out here, Southern California is like party city, right? You hear all these big homes in Beverly Hills and Hollywood Hills and Holmby Hills, and they're renting out, they're having these massive parties, and the owners come back to a destroyed house.
Yep. Yeah. We go talk about that. So people don't do the proper research, right? To buy short-term rental. They don't do the numeric, crunch the numbers.
Right.
They don't look. Here it is. Here's the other cons of a STR. Not only potentially you are self-managing and you have to be in hospitality business. Even if you hire a property manager to do it for you, they will charge you 25% of your rent.
Wow.
To manage your property if you do not want to self-manage. That could be your cash flow, right?
Absolutely.
On your short-term rental rent. And of course, you, on top of the buying the property yourself, with the down payment, closing costs, and everything else, and rehab costs most at a time, that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Combination of down payment, closing costs, and pay for the furnishing and rehabbing the property to make it rent ready, including you have to pay for the nice top level furnishing, utilities, and everything else, especially when you have a luxury vacation rental. Furnishing itself, it could cost another $30,000 to $50,000 to $100,000.
That's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a lot. Yeah, I think people have to. You have to really consider all that. And again, like you were talking about, how many tenants with the vacancy rate. Oh, I think you have it down there too, about 25%. Yeah, you're talking about, you could literally have somebody in there every different family in there every week of the year.
Yeah.
There's like 52 move-ins and move-outs.
Yeah. You have to to your point, you have to calculate the wear and tear with hundreds of guests gonna go through your property on an annual basis. What you have to quantify what are the costs. People don't even consider this. They are being overwhelmed with a high.
Right.
You have to understand. You have to do the research, and due diligence, crunch the numbers.
Absolutely.
The wear and tear can kill your asset, STR. And of course, a lot of the vacation rental locations are seasonal, right? A certain part of the year or higher rent. The other part of the year, especially in a four-season area in Tennessee or upstate New York, short-term rental.
Oh, yeah, there's the snow and the freezing and all that. Yeah, kill your business.
Yeah, because it's seasonal. You can have a high rent during the winter or summer. Then during the latter part of the year, you have no rents, no guests. So you have to factor in all the vacancies, 25%, 30%, whatever, in between tenants. All those issues can eat up your supposedly high cash flow. Let's do more. Challenges of choosing the right location. Once again, every property is different. Every STR location is different. Some STR property costs only $300,000. Other costs $3 million. Whatever. Right? Many of them in between. Again, how are we gonna? Do we have the kind of money? Some people, some people buy with cash. Are you going to risk buying all cash on an STR cost $1 million? $1 million freaking cash dollars out of your pocket. How long it takes to recoup your money if you have maintenance issues, vacancy issues, all those kind of things. Gonna eat up. So you're gonna and burn.
Yeah.
Furthermore, owning a short-term rental have significant higher liability since guest does not need to sign any legal contracts.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you get higher insurance costs, much higher than normal. And insurance costs are just in case you've been hiding under a rock. The insurance cost is on top of the news lately, right?
Yes. Yeah, I was just thinking about that with the homeowners insurance. It's probably going to be through the roof because even just regular homeowners, we have seen a significant increase in our property taxes here in California, especially because a lot of insurance companies are pulling out. So I can't even imagine if they know that you're doing it as an Airbnb, your insurance is probably going to go through the roof.
In fact, you can look at the entire U.S. map, look at all the coastal areas of the U.S. You look at up and down Atlantic coast, up and down Florida, Atlantic coast, and the Gulf Coast. And the Gulf Coast of Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas, the insurance, because of the weather-related issues, and hurricanes and whatever, the insurance premium has skyrocketed 200, 400%. That's going to eat up your cash flow. And also, you might have to do some liability protection, doing asset protection. Go to an attorney to protect your asset in case of any kind of litigation going on with them.
Yeah, because somebody gets hurt on your property or they slip and fall, whatever. But that could be the case for any property, but especially like something very short term, where people are probably just coming for the weekend just to have fun and party, and you have an accident and there you go.
That's why very high risk business, just a more regular business. And one more thing that people, it's just amazing. People does not do enough research.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
A short-term rental is running a business. It's not a passive investment. It's not like a long-term rental or even a mid-term rental. It's business. Yeah, you run a hotel. Therefore, for tax purposes, owners do not realize you pay higher taxes for running a hospitality business because hospitality is an active activity. According to the IRS, short-term rental Airbnb is a active business, is a brick and mortar business, just like any other business, just like a retail store, just running a pizza shop, just running a restaurant, just like running a whatever, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If you're a self-employed business owner owning an STR, the IRS will deem you a active business, not a passive business. Therefore, you get taxed at a much higher ordinary income tax rate.
Right. That's a
So
lot.
if you're in the 37 federal tax bracket, and in California, the highest state income tax bracket in California, I think is like 13% additionally.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
almost 50% of your money you earn as an STR active business could be subject to taxation.
Yeah.
So in addition, all the costs we just discussed about, you can write the IRS a check for almost half of your gross,
Right.
half of it. This is mind-boggling,
It
right?
really is. Yeah. And I don't think people, again, they look at it on a very surface level. Oh, I can make all this money rent it out every weekend, but you're not looking at all the finite details that go along with that.
Yeah. I know. I know that the exception we talked about, which we have no time to talk about, short-term rental. If you do it right, with the consult your tax advisor, you can do a short-term rental tax loophole. So
Right.
that's but you don't do that, then oh my goodness, you're gonna be in the red. You're gonna be owning an alligator. More STR cons. And come here.
There's more.
Wait, there's more. Hold on. I gotta move this over here. Okay. Local and state regulations are starting to reduce the number of STRs in a particular
Interesting.
state.
That's interesting. Wow.
They are doing away with it. They are over time. We all know that it's common knowledge. All the local laws and regulations, they are preventing short-term rental in a particular neighborhood. That's going to happen more and more in many locations now, right?
Absolutely.
That's happening in San Diego, down your neck of the woods.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
That's where all the activity is in San Diego.
they're happening in
Vacation activity.
yeah, in Europe, in LA area, there are certain markets are they are illegal to do SDR. It's consignment of your market, Southern California.
Wow. I believe that. Yeah, I believe that.
Yep, very high risk. All right, and then of course the volatility of the economy during a recession, people they don't have discretionary money to travel. So because owning a short-term rental is a cyclical business, it's not any consistent business. It's cyclical. It's up and down that are impacted by any kind of a recession or a housing crash or unemployment or whatever situation. And whereas it is happening in your market where your short-term rentals are located, then your potential revenue will go down the toilet.
Yeah.
Furthermore, you have to ask your question before you commit to buying a short-term rental. If worst case scenario occurs, can you pivot your short-term rental into mid-term rental or even long-term rental? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Some people can do it. I can do it. I know the market. In fact, some of my markets that I'm promoting in South Texas and Florida. Yes, you can convert your long-term tenant into a mid-term rental to a short-term rental. And but if you can find a market that have this flexibility where you can convert your income property into STR, MTR, and LTR, hey, you are in a great position. Am I right?
Oh, you're absolutely right. That's true. And I think that is always an advantage. If you find it doesn't work, you can always take it back to a midterm or a long-term, low risk, long-term, low risk investment.
But in the market, the property you just bought for STR purposes, you cannot pivot into MTR or LTR because of the rent. You can't cash flow into a LTR or MTR. Then you're screwed. You're screwed.
Good point.
You are screwed. Then you may have to sell. You may have to sell your short-term rental at a loss.
Nobody wants to do that, right?
Or going to a foreclosure, or going to a short sale whereby your loan balance is higher than the market value of your property because you're selling your short-term rental at a long time. Bad timing. STR Airbnb, my final analysis, would you agree it is a high-risk proposition?
I agree with that. Yes. Hmm.
Okay, no, I don't mean to go through the doom and gloom, but look at the most current graph, Airbnb revenue, the top 10 cities from May 2022 to May 2023, according to what this source. All the
All
rooms,
the rooms. Oh, okay.
the website, all the rooms.
Right.
Look at all the reduction.
Interesting.
Look at all the reduction,
Wow.
almost a half reduction of a profit to
Mhm.
one third of the reduction in profit among some of these cities. Some of these vacation spots in Tennessee,
Mhm.
Phoenix, Austin, Myrtle Beach, all these locations. I know this is short term; things will potentially work out, but this is a narrow scenario. But just go to show you, Airbnb is Airbnb and bust in many markets. I'm not saying all of it,
Mhm.
right? I want to
Right.
be objective. I don't want to act like I'm a housing crash bro, housing crash woman, doing global. I'm not that. You know me, right?
Right.
I'm always very objective. Anyway, in summary, which investment model is the best? Who knows? But in my personal opinion, and I'm sure yours too, I
Mhm.
would have to say long-term rental is the best
Mhm.
among the three asset class. You agree?
Oh, I totally agree. I think it has, we know it has the lowest risk of any of the properties. I think it's got the highest benefits, very low to no maintenance, passive income. It's ongoing, it's consistent. You work with a great property management company. You don't have to worry about anything once you've got the initial property put together. So, yeah, I think it's great.
100% agree with you. But let me, on the final 2 minutes, let's validate and confirm why we believe long-term rental is better than mid-term rental and short-term rental. And this graphic itself, this pro forma will be their icing on the cake. Why we feel long-term renter are, are the best. Because think about it, Julie, think about it. Short-term rental, medium-term rental, there's people have this mindset that is a short-term gain. It's like that immediate, it's instant gratification. People
Right.
love, you know how human behavior, right? People
Okay.
want instant everything, instant fast food, instant.
Instant coffee.
They want early profit. They want immediate gratification. They don't know how, historically speaking, achieving real wealth is
Mhm.
time, long time, take 10,
Absolutely.
20 years. And most of people, most of the wealthy millionaires out there, they get into boring investment, not
Mhm.
sexy, not excitement.
Mhm.
Short-term rental Airbnb, even medium-term rental is sexy, is
Right.
exciting, is too good to be true. So
Mhm.
people, human brain, they process this kind of thing, the immediate gratification. But the true wealth builders of this world, they buy boring assets. They buy these
Mhm.
type, let inflation increase their generational wealth.
That's it. I agree. It reminds me of the story of the tortoise and the hare. But I get the bottom line was slow and steady wins the race because it's been a while since I heard the story, but the tortoise ends up winning the race. And
Yeah.
yeah, but that's how real estate is. It's like slow and steady wins the race ultimately.
Okay. On the final few minutes of the presentation, you and I, Julie, going to prove our theorem. Theorem. That's all right. Julie, you and I are the mad scientists of real estate investing. These two graphs, we can prove our theory. We can prove our theorem, like Stephen Hawking, like Einstein. I'm gonna prove my theorem to the world why LTR is better than MTR and STR. Are you ready to
Okay.
to prove? The proof is in the pudding.
There you go. There you go.
Proof is in the pudding, and the pudding is this pro forma. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's go over this pro forma briefly. This is a long-term rental. It's a new construction property in Florida. Well,
Nice.
it had to be in Florida. This is a generic. Okay. Could be in Florida. Could be in Texas. Could be in South. These are the Sun Belt. In the South and Southeast is the best area to grow your wealth. If you buy a property that have the numbers really make sense. These are new
Right.
construction somewhere in Florida. Well, you know where, right here. Today, 264K, new construction, new build in a fast growing area, low affordability, low entry level, the whole 9 yards. You collect the rent On long-term rental, 1,700 per month. No big deal. You minus the vacancy, little bit of vacancy. You minus taxes, insurance. You minus the mortgage you're paying. By the way, you're paying 4.75% on a 10-year fixed mortgage.
Mhm.
Okay, it's a buyer's concession. Rate buy down, which is amazing, right? Using this interest rate, mortgage rate, cash flow, $300 per month. All some people say, I'm buying at $264,000 and I'm only getting $300
Right.
monthly cash flow. I could
Right.
put that money in a CD.
Yes.
How ridiculous is this argument? I want you to answer that. Is it an apple to apple comparison? I could put $254,000 in a CD or money market or inside a savings account. I could earn more than $300 monthly cash flow return. Let's disprove this idiotic theory. Go ahead, Julie.
Right.
I'll give you the floor to prove this.
I think it's more than obvious. You could put money into a CD and you'll end up at the end of the year with less than you started because the cost of inflation is going to eat away all that. Whereas where you have the property, you not only have the cash flow, which was actually when I started investing, that was the only thing I was really looking at, but you have tax benefits, which a lot of people are aware of, but a lot of people are not aware of. And that is going to save you money over time. Then, of course, you own the property. And we know I would just say in the whole country, property always goes up. Property always continues to go up in value. And some areas like where you live, I live, New York, Florida, places like that, Texas, exponential growth. And then you have the leverage, the power of a 30-year fixed mortgage where you can take just a small down payment, 20, 25%, and then leverage that out over several different properties. At the end of the day, you come out on top in all areas. You really do.
Yep. And this graph proves that point what you just finished discussing, right? Why? 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to make money. Your rent going to increase over time. You can receive tremendous amount of tax benefit. You can long-term appreciation may not be next few years may not be that high, but long term, go back to a historical 3 to 5% appreciation rate long term.
Right.
The power of leverage. They should pay down. One more thing people do not. One more thing that most newbies, most uninformed people do not understand that there's no such thing as an apple to apple comparison on CDs or money market versus real estate. Anybody that wish to prove me wrong, I would love to debate them online. To be totally possible, because you know what? Whoever will debate me that real estate is not the best asset class in the history of the world, I'll be glad to do so. I'm calling out anybody want to do that. We can do a YouTube video debate. You know what? You're going to be wrong 100% of the time. Real estate is still the number one asset class in the history of mankind. Look, you have to think high level, you have to think long term, not just the first year low cash flow. The next 5 years of this pro forma projection that I teach a lot to my students and hundreds of investors that I consult with on a daily, monthly basis. Here's the key, right? The long term, your rent you're going to collect today is not going to be the same rent you're going to collect tomorrow. Your rent will go up with the inflation 3 to 5%. If the inflation is 9% for whatever in a particular year, guess what? Your rent going to be increased to 9%.
There you go. Yes.
So your cash flow will increase from year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as you see the numbers. Not only that, you get tax benefit. Look at all the numbers right here. Not only that, and then as you increase your net operating income, your mortgage payment is fixed. Okay, you're paying today's mortgage with tomorrow's cheap dollars. And
makes sense.
Inflation-induced debt destruction, Mr. Jason Hartman. But see, I mean, that your principal of your mortgage will decrease because the renter is paying down your loan for you.
There you go.
Your renter is making you rich. So each additional year, you can make money. The market value of your property based on 8% appreciation rate from year 1 to year 5. You see the increasing value of your property over time. You bought it for $269 at 8% appreciation rate. At the year 5, the value of the property is $367. Your balance is decreasing. the tenant is paying down the loan for you, for God's
Yes.
sake.
Yes.
Then your equity, market
Equity
value
is
minus
growing.
increasing market value. I know some of you may not increase. I get it. Okay.
Mhm.
Increasing market value year over year, long term, minus decreasing loan balance
Right.
equals
Exactly.
equity. We see the consistent equity growth over time equal your loan to value. The lender will look at your LTV. The lower the LTV, the more possibility you can cash out refinance, tax-free cash out refinance loan in the future to
Right.
leverage your equity to buy, guess what? To buy more rental properties.
Exactly. There you
Here
go.
the, here the money you could potentially cash out refinance if you want to do that in
Mhm.
order to leverage more to continue to scale your portfolio, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Finally, this graph shows that if your equity continues to increase, even if you happen to sell your property, you're still going to have a capital gains tax, normally subject capital gain profit, subject to capital gains tax if you
Right.
totally could get rid of the rental and not buy anymore, which is fine. Pay a little bit of capital gains tax, 15, 10%, whatever your tax bracket is.
Sure.
Then if you do not want to sell your rental property and walk away with the profit after taxes, you can do a 1031 tax deferred exchange, right,
Right.
to lever to buy a replacement income property, and then all your capital gains will be deferred.
There you go.
So you can
Mhm.
scale into more property, increasing more wealth. Look, that's a recap. Okay.
Absolutely.
How many other YouTube presenter have a deep dive the pros and cons of STR, MTR, and
Right.
STR in the way we just did it? How many people out there have done this precise, high level, objective, deep dive in a way that we just did it? I have not seen
Yeah. And
any
I
one.
think, again, it just depends on the motivation of the presenter. A lot of people are trying to sell their product, their strategy, their whatever, and they're going to lean you in the direction of whatever's going to help them make money. But I think just looking at each one of the strategies objectively, and then you have the opportunity to make the choice. Here are the facts. You make the decision on what you want to do. There's no agenda that's being pushed here. We just want you to understand that it's deeper than just, oh, I can rent my house out for 3 times as much as what the going rate is. It's like, that's the very tip of the iceberg. It's the bulk of the iceberg is underneath the water. So it's important to look at what's underneath the water before you make the decision. Not to say that any of them are horrible strategies or any of them are perfect strategies, but you just have to do your work and decide what type of risk tolerance that you can take, you can handle, and know your personality, what you're willing to do. Like my parents owned a rental, and my dad realized after several years he just didn't like being a landlord. So he sold the property. So you just have to know what you can
Right.
handle and then make your decision accordingly.
Absolutely. There's nothing really I need to add. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Anyway, with that said, Julie, you did great with your presentation. So it's just I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate all your help and support.
Even though time-wise, in the past 3 years, you're a newbie investor, but
Mhm.
you own for a newbie investor, you own 6 rental properties. A lot of investors that have been doing it for 10, 15 years, they do not even own a 6 properties, but you do. Just
Right.
to show you. So technically speaking, you are a newbie, but in
Yes.
reality, you are more savvy. You are better than any of the so-called experienced savvy investors out there.
Oh, thank you for the compliment. I do. I received that. I do still feel like I'm a newbie. I feel like there's so much that I need to learn, but I am happy with the success that we've achieved so far. Again, thank you so much for your help because you were the one that pointed us in the direction and just held our hands all through the process about out of state investing. That wasn't even on our radar. That wasn't even anything that we even realized people did. And so just getting the right mentor, the right information, and being able to make the decisions again based on what our risk tolerance was, I think we made good choices, and we've been very successful with that.
Glad to hear that. I'm proud of you. Your
Thank
journey,
you.
your journey continue is not over yet.
Absolutely.
You're not ready to retire yet, but if you and your husband were to retire today, the portfolio that you built up in a mere 3 years' time, your sixth rental can make you feel have a very comfortable retirement.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for this. This was great. This is
Yeah,
good.
my
I hope
pleasure.
people get a lot out of this. It was really good.
This is a master class of this investing. You have choices to make. Identify your buy box. Okay, everybody's different. Okay, we're trying to be objective, but the key is we give you some great insight, great information, so you can make an informed decision.
There you go.
Take action regardless of the economic conditions, because you should do dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging means you buy invest property as long as they have a cash flow with 25% down payment, good market, professional property management, and you could overcome any kind of short-term volatility, because
Absolutely.
even if your property decrease, you don't care because you're not selling.
Exactly.
You're not selling at the wrong time. You as long as you collect cash flow, stay the course, the market will correct itself, the housing market correct itself.
Right.
Over time, in every 10-year cycle, real estate cycle, economic cycle, if you invest for the long term, which is rental property, you will make money.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. You can't lose.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep, long term. Okay. So with that said, if you receive any value whatsoever on this longer than we expected presentation, but it's a master class, right? Okay, understand that.
Absolutely. That's it.
So please like and subscribe and comment below. And most importantly, if you have not already done so, put your email on my website below so you could receive emails from our real estate investment club. Okay, so you can be a free member of our investing organization. So you'll receive free emails into your email inbox in all aspects of real estate investing. So ultimately, you can become a wealth builder.
Thank you so much. This has been great. Thank you.
Yep. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.